Hi, and welcome to the Terrible 2 podcast. I don't know why she's always imitating me, but tonight at 11, we're going to discuss...
I love how you knew where I was going with that. Sorry. Okay, I'll let you have it.
I'm your anchor, Teddy.
And I'm your co-host, Lonnie.
Good job, baby. Good job. We will continue to ride the struggle bus for as long as it takes, okay? Thanks for joining us today in this discussion, this conversation starter. Recently, again, after several years of proof, some government agencies, actually I think it's just ours, confirmed that there are, is it non-human life forms? Mm-hmm. Or whatever.
But didn't he use the word aliens?
Did he? I didn't watch it. I did no research.
No.
But we're going to talk about Alien. If you're watching this and you're an alien, we're sorry for the generalizations. Oh gosh. We apologize for the generalizations and references to our films. We are fascinated by you, and we're just gonna explore the idea on what do we think about life on other planets? What do we think about life out there? What do we think about out there? Give me all your thoughts on
out there
space.
Okay. I was about to say, give me all my thoughts on out there.
No, keep it in here.
Because they also spoke about like multi-dimensional and stuff, right?
Yes, which is such an interesting
like
concept.
Different, and like they come from different dimensions and different like things and stuff like that. I think the concept of aliens is really cool. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm being honest, I love to talk about the life form that is not like us, because in my head I'm like, oh, they must be better, and that makes me feel good.
Automatically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe they're worse, and I don't know how you can get worse than Earth, but I also can see how you could get worse than Earth.
Worse than what way?
Like what? Like,
you said worse. I'm just asking how.
I don't know. Maybe you're like everybody, just do
violent.
every, like, what if it's like a purge in a different dimension? Just the purge 24/7. Well, then there would be nobody left. Okay, but I don't know.
Why would they be purging? For superiority, or just
because that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's different dimensions, so you don't know. But I do like the concept of aliens, because in my head I'm like, I don't believe, speaking from just like, I guess, a religious standpoint, from a young age, I grew up in the church. I grew up learning about God. I grew up learning about the Bible and stuff like that. But it always baffled me that we would read about God and how creative God is and how superior God is and all these things, and then for us to sit there and be like, yeah, but Earth is the only one with life on it. And for me, I was like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, for a God that is so powerful, why would he only make us? And I'm not saying that he wouldn't make us. Like, it's easier to track one thing than, but as a God, you can track everything at one time. But my take on that, right, is if few of my kids are bad, why can't I just make some more and hope for the best? Just kidding. But
you hear that, mother? Just try again.
Don't try.
Don't do that.
No, but
okay.
But
so,
like, it's a concept of like, if God is so powerful and God created us, then why wouldn't God create more life form? Why is it strictly just what makes us so special that we are the only ones that get to live in this huge multitude of galaxies and Milky Ways and universes? Like, come on, if we have our own universe, we have our own Milky Way. There's so many other Milky Ways, many other galaxies.
Okay, I was like, it's a galaxy,
not
a universe.
Huh?
Milky Way is a galaxy, not a universe, right?
Yeah. Isn't Milky Way, galaxy, and universe 3 separate things?
Yeah. Well, Milky Way is a galaxy.
And Milky Way is a galaxy?
Yes. We might have to pop up Google here.
Right?
No, we are in the Milky Way galaxy.
Well, don't you? Oh, okay.
Yes. So Milky Way.
I thought there was a
galaxy.
Milky Way within a galaxy.
Milky Way is our galaxy.
Okay. You sure?
Yes.
We don't need to search that up.
We don't need to search that.
Okay. So going based off of galaxies, right, and universe, there's multiple. Like they have stated that there's multiple galaxies out there. So I can imagine that there are not different life forms with it. Do I know if they look like us? No. But there is a high chance that they look like us. Like, what if they look like us and they're just different versions of us? What if, like, every myth or, like, story that we've heard from childhood and things are on different planets and different galaxies? Like,
what if ghosts are just them in an alternate dimension that's like passing by ours?
That's what I'm saying. That could be like, what if the spirit realm isn't necessarily a spirit realm, but it's a transportation realm? Like, what, you know, like it's like a glass door where you can see what's happening, but you can't get through what's happening. Like, I mean, I do think people pass away. What if, like, in passing away, because there are some people who believe in reincarnation. I, for one of them, I do believe that there is some forms of reincarnation. What if you don't reincarnate in this world, but you reincarnate in another one, but on the same time frame on us? And let me just dive into time to time. Crazy. But as someone who watched Doctor Who, I can say, for one, time is just a wibbly wobbly, wimey stuff. But no, like,
did we say that?
Yes, a wibbly wobbly, just timey wimey ball of stuff, something like that. But it's just time. I think there's so much like that goes into time. I think that we know one thing, but like they stated, there's stars that we see that are years ago, or like millions and thousands of years ago. So I'm like, imagine if we're viewing things from different times. So like, for that in itself, I understand time as a complete ball of so much that we can't comprehend. So I'm like, what if things are happening? Like these aliens are coming, they're living life, but it's like on the same timeline as us, but it's a different like dimension. It's a different us. It's a different world. It's a different thing. Like, what if people are coming back in time from a few, like, what if, okay, crazy. But what if, like how we see the stars years ago, what if they're ahead of us and they're seeing us years ago? So they're like traveling to the past. Or maybe they're in the past and they're traveling to the future. Like, what if aliens aren't necessarily some green or gray people, but they look like us? Or maybe they look like us and they're just purple and green or something like that. Like, what if it's like aliens are like us, just one thing switched every time?
Oh, okay. I get that. With the amount of galaxies out there, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if galaxies or universes are different when you speak about them. Like, this is our universe.
You want me to go there?
You can. But while I speak,
you go. I was like, go.
But thinking about it, it could be that one thing I would hope is that if there are other life forms out there in the other galaxies and the other universes, that they're ahead of us.
Whoa! So the universe is like a
okay, cool. So the universe is a bunch of galaxies.
Galaxy. Okay. It, like, just so our Milky Way galaxy is one within the universe.
Yes.
So that's crazy. You have a whole bunch of different galaxies
right,
within a universe. And imagine if they're just in a different timeline or something else.
And so that's what I was saying. Like, in one of these other galaxies, it would be great if they weren't on like our time, like they weren't in 2023. Or if they are, they never discovered war. So they put their thoughts into technology. Because that's the only way we would get aliens to come to Earth. Because
I agree.
If they're on like so similar to us, they'd be at war and not develop space travel. We don't have space travel.
No.
It takes us, what, years to get to Mars? Years. It could be decades. Who knows? And Mars is the next planet. Many very early men. Yeah, Mars is the next planet. And it takes us forever to get there.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy because that means we will never leave our solar system. We'll never go past Pluto, which would suck because, I don't know, like, maybe not in my lifetime, but what is past Pluto? Yeah. First of all, y'all disrespected Pluto. Y'all took planet out its name. That's just the rudest thing.
And then you called it a
dwarf planet, blah, blah, blah,
then
blah.
you changed it, and then you brought it back to a planet, and then you did
Stop
it. It's
Get
too
some
much.
help, okay? But like I just want to know more concretely that there's something past Pluto. Like, okay, this is our solar system, and I guess there are other solar systems, and they're like
within a galaxy, right?
Yes, within a galaxy. So a galaxy is made up of
multiple,
I guess, solar systems. Yes, they might call them clusters in the clusters of solar systems. I don't know. But if just in our solar system we have one life-sustaining planet because of the distance from the sun, which is a star, what if all those stars out there are suns in solar systems, and maybe it has like 18 planets in the good range? Maybe aliens don't need our warmth or our climate or our cold, so then they can exist wherever. It'd be great. I don't, you have the green Martians and the Martian Manhunter and green on Mars, but like, what if they don't come from our solar system? What if they're not hiding on one of these planets? One solar
from
system
a different solar system.
And I just really hope that they're more advanced. That either it's
assume
in
so,
their
right?
year 5,000, or they never discovered war, and just focused on technology. Because we have NASA and other space programs, and they've been to, I guess, the moon, right? We stopped going back because we've seen all we need to see, and that's what they've said. And it's
Shady
like, okay,
boots.
so let's get faster.
Yeah.
Because, you watch all the sci-fi movies. We've been recently watching the Alien franchise. And you see them go out into space, into mining colonies, and blah, 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 with you. What powers those ships? It can't be fuel.
Right.
Like, if it is fuel, how, where, what's renew? They never touch on it because nobody cares. Right? We're in space and we're moving. When? What is your fuel? Like, what? We have to get to the point where our fuel can be something that we find in space. Because the sun is big and the sun puts out radiation.
That we may never run out.
Like what?
We haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on a different planet.
Could be. But every other planet, I think, past Mars is just ice, basically. Just stop and get some.
But that's the crazy thing to think about. It's like you were saying about the technology. They have to be more advanced than us to come to us.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we can't make it past Mars, and that's just saying we can't make it past Mars with the little droids that they've been sending out. People aren't going to Mars as of yet. I mean, they're trying to, but they haven't touched down in Mars as of yet, have they?
People haven't. But the rover.
But the rover, exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
But they've also sent out cameras, like telescopes, deep space telescope that take faraway pictures. So I don't know where those are.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. We ourselves, our human selves, have not been able to go to Mars and so on because of body temperature and all this stuff and different things. But we haven't been able to touch down on a planet that's distances farther than Mars, or let alone even Mars. And so my thing is, if these aliens are coming from planets, one, they have to be more advanced than us, because what are they even using to build their and we always like to say spaceships and stuff like that, but what are they using to build their rocket ships, their shuttles, their whatever they're using to come here? Or is it teleportation? It's something like you have to believe in the advancement of their
race,
right? Their race,
their people,
their
Terrans,
their planets, their community. We have to believe that they are completely more advanced than us. And if they are in a completely different solar system, or let alone even a different galaxy, they they are far more advanced than we could ever think to be advanced. Because not only did they get here, well, and we have to continuously think, when did they start trying to come here? Was it in a finger, or what? Were they doing this for decades, and then they finally made it? Like, but either way, it's something that we have to consider, because it's like, if they did start years ago to come to planet Earth, then they were advanced years before we could even think about it.
And in that line of thinking, does their time work the same as ours?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like, we might think it's years, but 1970 and today might be 2 days apart for them.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And especially if they've learned the concept of teleportation and all this stuff and different things and jumping through different dimensions and different timelines and different things. Like, it is so insane to think about, because when you just jump into, okay, there's aliens on Earth, right? And we call them aliens, but there is different life form on Earth. You then have to start jumping into the like the mindset of, okay, well, they're way more advanced than us. What else do they have? Where did they come from? What do they bring? What didn't they bring? And who did they bring? Like, and what did they come here for? Are they just coming here to just look and laugh?
Are we a zoo?
That's what I'm saying.
When the pandemic happened, everybody was like, "Oh, this show is trash." Like, end this season, and it's like, we could be a TV show, we could be a zoo.
Like, what if this is just a Black Mirror episode for them?
Very, interactive, very interactive. Hopefully nobody gets bored and can't. Just turn that one off,
It's
bro.
just like,
I'm tired of seeing
this one is
it's explosions and death. Like,
Earth is
get some
getting
new material.
This reality show is getting a little ghetto. I think the 15th season should have been done. Yeah.
Supernatural reference. Almost a Walking Dead reference. But I digress. I think it's fun to think about, because we could touch on. Have you ever seen Have you ever seen they have photos of people from the past, but they're wearing like modern clothes, or they look like the same person, but like decades apart.
When they like show like that one guy in the background, and they're like,
he's in like basketball shorts.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's
people
weird.
Dressed like that. Yeah. So I'm like, that could be aliens. Right?
They could be.
I would love it if time travel was ever figured out. Okay, going backwards is just pointless.
Yeah.
Because. But I would love to jump forward. I would love to be like, let's go
backwards.
To when?
To every single time that my people need it, I'll just go in and snatch them up and then
so
bring them back.
So you think you can change the past?
That's the thing, and that is the thing that you have to get into with time travel, right? And I don't know if that's just for another episode.
That is for another episode.
Okay, then I won't dive deep into that.
Yeah, we're not going on the time rant.
You know what? We will have an episode about like time and time warp and time travel. Yeah. A little bit, but we haven't fully dove into like time travel and stuff. But we
talked about it on the
in the multidimensional one. Yeah.
Okay, so in my head right now, I'm thinking about all the sci-fi shows I've ever seen.
Okay.
And how they deal with space, right? Interacting with, I guess, alien species and whatnot. Like Buzz Lightyear. Oh, one thing a lot of them have in space travel is cryostasis or stasis, or like putting your body on shutdown mode, so that you don't age, you don't get hungry, you don't get thirsty, nothing happens to you, right?
It's literally like you're frozen.
Yes, and I'm fascinated by that, because even if space travel may not be figured out, I would love us to figure out cryostasis, stasis. Like I would love us to like Fry from Futurama gets knocked into the thing and just sleeps for a ton of years.
And even in Aliens, Ripley, when she was drifting and she was like, it'll take a few weeks, and
it was like 57 years or something.
Your daughter died. Like, what?
Yeah, no. I want them to figure that out, because I would love to be frozen. Yeah, like once I hit
when? Why?
60, freeze me.
For what,
hopefully
though?
at that point,
what do you do?
Hold on, let me get to it. Hopefully by that point, human trials have started and they've been successful, and they just knock me out. Okay, at 60, look at me. At 60, put me in. Okay. Oh, it'll be whatever age, right? And then if we at 5,000 on the 5,000 and okay, 3,000 years later, wake me up.
For what?
I want to see, because if they don't invent time travel, invent cryostasis.
Okay, yes, but then what if Earth blows up and you're just there?
You know, I thought about that. Kind of like waking up in the Wall-E universe.
Yeah.
I wake up and there's just like trash. Oh my god.
Let me tell it to tell me nothing, to give me nothing.
I'm on that side like, oh no, they left me behind. Oh, somebody saw my crying stories and they're like, nah. And when I was looking at,
you're stupid.
He's old.
You're stupid.
But
you're stupid.
I digress. I think I'm just so interested in the future and technology, and I don't think we're gonna get much done in my lifetime.
I don't think so.
That back in the 90s, like late 90s, storage for computers was on a floppy disk.
Yeah, we
had megabytes.
Far. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And megabytes.
And now you have, I have a 8 terabyte,
big old disk,
16 terabyte thing just chilling, and it's just a box.
You went to flash drive at one point, and
yeah, and it's like technology leaps.
Yeah,
technology leaps, right? But I always get afraid that technology's leaps are gonna get shorter. Crazy leap. But it's like exponentially shorter because there's only so many new things you can make.
So what do you mean like shorter? Shorter
okay,
as in
so
things are gonna happen faster, or
no, things are gonna get less progressed.
Oh.
Okay, because we started with the phone, right? It's plugging in these things, then you jump to, I don't know the jumping, but like jump back to like the 80s. Cell phones were. You had a phone in your car.
Yeah, big old
crap. Then
the house phone with the little
and like you didn't have Wi-Fi on your phone. You didn't have this and that. Like
you have to pay for everything.
Really quickly, we got 3G, 4G. Now we're on 5G. 5G, and it's like I feel like the leaps are getting closer together, but they're getting shorter leaps.
Okay.
Like we're not making such big advancements. They're coming faster, but it's like they've tweaked 2 things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, cool. Like, everybody I know who has 5G says it sucks.
Yeah.
They say it sucks, and I'm like, so we found 5G, we made 5G, and it's cheeks.
I believe we have. I believe I have 5G.
Is yours 5G capable?
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
And it's just like I feel like they're getting either too quick, like it's too quick, so it doesn't seem like a big jump.
Yeah.
Or the jumps are getting less significant.
Okay, let's speak on that. I know we're talking about aliens.
Yeah.
And we always get sidetracked. But the new like Apple thing that's coming out with Apple, where you can like now like scroll your phone with
goggles,
and stuff like that. What do you think about that? Do you think that was a big short leap or a big leap?
I think it was kind of short. Okay. Because VR and AR has been around.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
What is it? Virtual reality and alternate reality, right? It's been around. They've had goggles. They've had the Quest and the PSVR and all. So it's been around. They didn't leap anything. They just tweaked it. They were like, okay, I want to do this and this and this instead of this and this and this. Yeah. So you're in a virtual space. You can swipe your message, but I guess the hand controls are.
And isn't it like a thing of like you can also think about like open it or like look at it and like it'll open or something.
So it follows your eyes. I think it's not new.
Yeah, I know, but like I was looking at it and I'm like, yes, VR and stuff has been around a lot, but I think the concept is what like is like a little like crazy because I believe you just look at it And
they're not reading your thoughts.
It, like, opens.
I hope you don't think so.
No, but like I believe you just look at something and then you open it and then you look at it again. So I don't know how it works.
So it's eye tracking if I'm thinking about it correctly. And I had a Galaxy S4 a while back, and at that time they came out. They were like, "Oh, it's eye tracking. You can like scroll a page by just looking at it."
And it didn't work out?
It was jank.
I was like, how did that work?
It was made, but
how did
it worked sometimes. And you were able to turn the page by flicking your eyes. And it was very cool technology, but I had that back in like 2000.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Like 2006, 2007. Yeah, I switched to Apple right after it.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. You could hand swipe it.
That's kind of cool. But also, like, isn't that kind of scary? Because, like, you have to think about, like, they're just looking at you through a camera.
I mean, they're always looking at us through a camera. I'm sure they're looking at me now.
I mean, yeah, but like you say that. We say that all the time. We all have our own FBI agent, and it's like crazy to think about because, like, how many FBI agents are there for everyone in the world, right?
There are 8 billion people on this planet.
Exactly. You need an FBI agent for all of.
What if 4 billion of them are FBI agents?
But it's like so. We say stuff like that. It may or may not be true. We never really know. That's why it's called conspiracy theories, right? So all of that, it's a thought. However, when you like dive deep into eye tracking and all these different things, you then come to the realization, and you have to acknowledge that at this point in time, yes, you really are looking at me through the camera. Like you are seeing my eyes move. You are like that
Technically,
video.
they're doing that.
I guess that's true. I mean, but like we're recording for them, whereas a phone, you're
so it's in real time, like it's happening right now,
and it's constantly happening.
And so, I think this year, but a bit of last year, AI, ChatGPT, and all those things came out, right? And AI blew up. AI art, predictive this and that, and it's just. Computers are, well, I'm not going to say computers are smart because we train computers. It's machine learning. Let's say it looks at us and it's like, what is that? And I said humans, and now it thinks humans look like me. What's that? Humans look like you. So then now it has a basis for humans, and you do that for every item on the world. Computers seem smart because they've collected information where they look at me and they're like, dog, and I say no. They say cat, no. Human, yes. Boom. So a cat and a dog does not look like this.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of yes, no's. And so computers have advanced rapidly. And especially this year with the AI art and the ChatGPT, and it's just thinking that the eye tracking is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's cute, honestly, because it's like, aw, she doesn't know that our government the amount of satellites you have in space.
I know. And I mean,
and so many other things, right?
Things that we have here, telephone towers and all these wide,
And we don't generally have a CCTV around here. Like it's more in Europe and stuff where their cameras just looking at you all the time.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, like on the streets, and like everything is captured on camera. But over here, we have a lot of Ring cameras.
We do. Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of
and even street
in-home
cameras
security
and stuff
cameras
like that.
and stuff like that. So, excuse me. A lot of time they're on a network, and they compile information. You know the pick the light post, pick the school bus, pick the crosswalk. Apparently, that's feeding into machine learning. Apparently, every time you do it correctly, you're training a machine.
So what if? Just to tie you back, because at this point we gotta name
this
aliens. Episode aliens technology. It's gonna be a wild name, but to tie it back. What if through everything that we're using, because I mean, come on, if you're advanced enough to come to Earth from wherever you are, they're probably advanced enough to tap in. And so what if like we're talking about, our FBI agent is looking at us, like we've named our FBI agent. We believe we have the same FBI agent and his name is Kevin. And so like we fully believe Kevin's there, right? But like in all seriousness, what if aliens, or what we consider aliens, different life forms, since they're so advanced and high tech, I have to believe they are. What if they're tapping into everything? So that's like when it's like static occurrences, or when it's like things messing up and different things. What if it's not our FBI agent? What if it's the different life forms just tapping in to see how we're doing?
And I think that ties back into why, their purpose. Like, what do they want?
That's why I'm saying it's the same thing with zoos. What do we want? To stare at the animal and be like, it's a lion.
You know, some zoos have a live camera 24/7.
For what?
For you to see the animal 24/7. You don't have to go to the zoo.
That's insane.
I think, is it the Cincinnati Zoo? I think maybe China has a panda cam. So they're just like, man, these two, they're onto something. Maybe two onto something. If aliens are watching this or listening and they're like, we're getting too close, show up. We would love to speak. I would like to be a point of contact. You know, ask a couple questions, like what's the meaning of life? If you don't have that, I'd like a ray gun. So you don't want to talk to them?
I mean, if they're coming to talk and just talk, yeah. But if you want to probe me or anything
or dissect,
else,
we're not the
don't
ones.
show
We're
up.
not the ones.
Please, I'm begging.
Elsewhere,
I'm
you know, there's several people.
There's several people you should probably take.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna touch that.
But
yeah, no. So I think I
would like to talk to them. How did you get so advanced? Like what? Like what are you here for? Like not saying that I don't understand the kind of, because we're traveling out, we're going out to different planets, we're trying to see what it is, and I like that. I like exploring, like exactly traveling within your own world is a thing. So I get it, exploration, but I'm also like, you are so advanced, and I'm talking to you, Mr. or Mrs. Alien, or maybe you don't have any genders or pronouns over there. Mr. Person.
Right back to Mr.
Life form. I'm speaking to you, life form. Why Earth? Because Earth is ghetto. Like very, very ghetto. And it's not a thing, like I feel like you probably explored enough. What if, okay.
Sure.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
What if we have multiple aliens, right? We have multiple life forms
that are coming?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not from the same place.
Uh-huh.
What if like there's so many different life forms that are coming and exploring, and it's just like a drop off. Hey, see you. All right. It's just like a drop off to check on how we're doing.
Oh. That would be very interesting.
Like, then it's like there's so many people or so many life forms that are ahead of us.
So I'm gonna reference several TV shows for the rest of this episode. I think I'm going to focus on that a little bit. There's a TV show called Colony, where basically aliens come to Earth and they're basically abducting people, like taking them up, whatever. And I mean, this is a huge spoiler. It's been out for a while.
Is it new?
No.
How long has it been out?
I don't know. But you find out that there's two alien races that are something's happening. So, you know, you're saying that there are multiple aliens coming. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh. So what if one is after the other? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be. Or what if not necessarily ones they're all just exploring. It's like a museum.
Yeah, maybe they're
like
all exploring.
A whole bunch of different races,
a whole
bunch of different cultures go to museums just to explore. What if we're like a museum? What if every world that has a life form is like a museum? Like you're just like,
we need to get our bus in order so we can take this field trip. That's all. We need to figure this out because I'm trying to go see. Because I'm gonna tap into Star Wars now. The amount of like alien species you see, a lot of, not even all of them are humanoid. Like you run into like ones with extra horns, run into different shapes. Exactly. I would love to see. Hopefully, not all of them are slime-like. Like, why is everything gooey?
I mean, there's different things, right? Based off of the planet that you have, that you're inhabiting.
Exactly.
There is warmer weather where it's just gooey and stuff. There's warm weather where it's like, it's just, what is that called? Dry weather. So you may
have. How many
have
of y'all have wings?
Are there like, is there like a like planet where it's like it's strictly just mythical creatures,
right?
like just
What if there's
fairies
unicorns?
unicorns and leprechauns. Like it's like that's what I'm saying. What if it's not necessarily myths that we created or
but it's
little
like
stories,
one or two of them slip through and here.
Somebody saw it a long time ago, and so then they created the story, and now everyone's like, oh, it's just a myth that my grandma used to tell me.
Vampires.
Ah!
Oh, take me. Oh,
take me out to the ball game.
Vampires.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
You want to play piano too?
I don't know when it will never come back.
Baseball is boring. So that would be extremely cool if it was just all myths,
like
or even most of myths. Yeah. Or they visited and it was like, wow, this place is great now. You want to stay? Bye. Boom, done. And the rest left. And this one was like, I'm just gonna chill.
And then they realized it was ghetto and they were like, come pick me up. And that's why there's none to this day, right?
Right. Or that's why more ships are showing up, because they're scooping them up. They're like, this planet's on its last legs. They have a millennium left. And it's like
imagine, can you also imagine if aliens were coming here just to explore, like, a kind of thing, like, oh, what's going on? Like, whoa, this is a new species. Like, this is crazy. And then our government is like, grab them and hook them in the butt and cut them up.
Then we'd be the aliens probing them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if all those alien movies and of aliens probing us is just a self-image, right?
Did you watch
What if it's just a reflection? No, I didn't watch it. What if it's just a reflection of what we're doing to them?
I think you put out what you fear, you know?
I agree.
We're thinking about abduction and probing and all this other stuff, but that's what we would do if we saw something new.
Well, let's do it to them first. And why not try to have a conversation? And maybe you can't have a conversation, but is there a way that we could possibly have a conversation? You're so advanced that you have come to Earth. There is definitely a way that we can communicate.
You have it translated. Like our languages are silly, but you can pick it up.
Right, I'm sure you can. I'm sure there's a way that you can. If not, then be like,
pick up sign language.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need a voice for that.
But what if
you probably have 8 hands? Just I'm like, oh, you want a drink? Blood? Vampire? What are the tentacles for? You know.
Wow, wild run.
Hey man, you don't know. And I think our imagination, well, my imagination wants to combine creatures we have on Earth to make aliens.
Yeah.
Like in that, I was thinking an octopus head with a cape. So then he sucks blood through his thingies, but.
No, I mean, but the thing is, the possibilities are endless. Because I'm like, it could be a slimy, grimy, whiny, whatever. It could be slimy. It could be a rock person. It could be Pokemon types.
I am Groot.
It could be like, it could be anything. They could be anything. And that's the craziest part, is because it's like, if we dive into, okay, yes, there's one different life form on this side. Let's say it was just one that dropped off. We then have to go into the thought process of, how many more are there? How large is your species? Are you coming here to inhabit and inhabitate?
What do you mean? You want to inhabit my planet?
Inhabit my planet, yeah.
We can coexist.
Because yours was dying or something else.
Ours is dying too.
Sorry.
You jumped off of a burning ship into a sinking lifeboat.
Yeah, so
jump again.
Is that why you're here? And so then we consider, like, how many of this species is there? And then we have to go, okay, well, if there's a second one, there must be a third. If there's a third, there's got to be a fourth. If there's a fourth,
and
how deep do we go down the rabbit hole?
To play the opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's no alien life forms? What if God... because I am religious, you know,
mm-hmm.
and God created Earth
mm-hmm.
and all that, and nothing else, you know?
I mean, that could be true, and they could just be lying to us and distracting us.
Could be all a distraction, because the timing on it is I think governments, like people, are opportunistic.
Mm-hmm.
If they want something done or to happen, they're like, look, a shiny object while I do something shady.
I think it backfired on them. Yeah. I do think it backfired.
What? We realized that we can't pay rent, so I don't care about an alien.
Right? Like,
can you
I'm literally dying. I'm dying on a floating rock. You think I'm about to be sad that an alien is here?
An alien I wouldn't be sad to see. I'd be happy. Transformers. Because they're aliens. They're aliens, okay? If alien, you are like Bumblebee, come through. A Corvette would be preferred, but I will take the Camaro. Like, no hate.
So much.
But bring the Corvette, and then when I'm chilling next to you, just hello. I'm like, oh, bussin', how you doing, blood? What are we chasing? We're chasing the Allspark, the Skybeam, the Unity. Like, what are we after?
You're so dumb.
But there's so many sci-fi things to pull from of human imagination of what aliens could be.
No, absolutely. I
would love to see
go anywhere.
The aliens' perspective of what aliens could be.
That's what I'm saying. Like how much? So based off of your knowledge, your high tech, your advancement, because you are way more advanced than we are. What do you believe there is? Have you been there? Are we the last stop that you've made? Are we the first stop that you've made? Are we the third, the second, the fourth?
I don't want us to be the first stop because they're like.
Right, and then they probably quit.
We gotta strap up just in case. I'm like, oh no. And then they went to the most peaceful species and blow them out the water. I'm like,
sorry.
Did y'all just discover America?
So it's like you have to come into and that's the thing with me personally. Do I believe that there's aliens? Absolutely, I do. I cannot believe that there isn't. But do I believe that this was some kind of ploy to distract us from something? Absolutely, I do. Do I know what it is? No. But it's weird that they came out. And then on top of that, I would think that the person who did come out with this information would not be alive right now or would not be able to speak right now because that's classified information. They have been shelter in Area 51 for a very long time. From the moment I was born, I can't remember a year that Area 51 wasn't the biggest talk of the town and wasn't secured and stuff like that. So for somebody to stop working there and just blab and him be okay, it's very questionable. Like I'm like, is alien, because I feel like there's so much more that's been happening, especially like on cameras, and people have been catching it to where they can't really deny things anymore. And so it's like, okay, let's put it out there. Yeah, and so it's like, let's put it out there because there's something bigger.
So you think he's a plant?
I do.
To be like, oh, aliens are real. But it's like, yeah, we know
that. We knew that.
You know, you're not.
But it's still, so I don't, maybe they thought that we'd have a bigger reaction. Maybe they didn't. But I think regardless of if we had a huge reaction or not to it, there was still a reaction. And there was a big reaction surrounding it. So it wasn't necessarily a huge reaction of, aliens are real, what do we do? And we start freaking out. You then saw on TikTok, everyone was saying like, yeah, we knew it. Like, not the government telling us governments are real and us just all not saying anything because we know it. We still made a big deal out of knowing, right? So regardless of whatever reaction they wanted, they got a reaction. And so it was still a distraction for the time being. Regardless of if we were like, yeah, we said that all along, we still gave it that energy. We still gave it, that attention. Proof. I agree.
I want one alive. Like, stop killing, or I hope they're not all hopefully this isn't like a planet you crash land on.
Yeah.
I hope we're not off the side of a racetrack and they're just like eating it. You know?
I seriously hope they're actively wanting to come here.
And I want one of them to be alive. Just to interact with it. But I know it's gonna get dissected.
Because Americans can't help themselves.
But also, like, do we have one of their spaceships? I would love to visit. I'd love to.
Apparently,
would I go on it?
Apparently, there was something that crashed, right?
Will you go on it?
And they got a different life on a spaceship.
Yeah. Because I know I would step on and they'd be like, going back home, and I'd be like, oh no.
Like, I wouldn't get on it without safety precautions.
Like what?
And I don't even know that I would get on it.
When the door's sealed, like cut off all the latches and everything.
I'd want to see so much more. Like I'd take pictures on the inside. Show me what you find. But I don't want to physically go in there.
If the possibility to go to the alien place was there, would you go? You have no idea what it's like. You don't know what they look like. They just open up a portal and they're like, this is a one-way trip.
A one-way trip?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No?
No, because if it's a two-way trip, if it's a you can go, you can leave, hands down, yes. If it's a one-way trip, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, everybody would go.
But no, some people wouldn't. It's still not something that you want to think, because you may die there. Just because it's a two-way trip doesn't mean you'll come back.
It's gonna open a portal to hell.
Doesn't mean you're gonna come back.
Yeah.
But the one-way thing is it's Russian roulette essentially.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna get, and
with that one-way thing, I'm like,
exactly.
Why?
Yes. It could be amazing. It could be paradise. It could be heavenly. But it also could be the worst thing that you've ever stepped on. And to not be able to go back, you know?
Okay.
There's a level of gratefulness that I have with my life on Earth that a one-way trip to see to Sea World or to Hell World is not on my bucket list. You're right. It's
Look
not.
At Shamu. I can't swim.
But so it's like, I don't. Yeah, it's not something that I would just be like.
I'd be hella interested. I would try to put a camera through. There's a movie. Is it Arrival?
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure out a way that we can put like cameras. We can send cameras through.
But is it Arrival? I think Arrival is the good one. Google me. Show me what Arrival looks like. Because there's a movie with the lady that plays Lois Lane in The Man of Steel. Not that one. That's the good one. That's the good one. There's a movie with Tessa Thompson, and that's the bad one.
Is this one?
That's the good one. Oh, wait. Let me see. Oh, 1 second. Scroll. Go. That's a good one. That's a good one. There's another one. There's another one where a meteor hits Earth and kind of radiates outward like a dome, right? And going into that dome basically transports you to like another place. Mm-hmm. It's a Netflix film. Such a Tessa Thompson meteor movie.
Meteor movie.
And in that dome, there was a bear that could speak. Annihilation. Terrible movie. Interesting concept. Like it's basically what I was speaking of, where it's like a one-way portal in. Because you walk through the dome, and the first thing they do is lose like 2 days. They just don't know what happened for 2 days. Crazy. And the dome is ever expanding, so they had to send people in to try to figure out what was happening. And I think human curiosity is such a thing that we would love to go.
Yeah.
We would love to investigate. We would love to see. We would love to find out.
Absolutely. Positively.
But I agree with you. That one-way trip, I don't know if I get the Corvette on the other side.
You probably wouldn't because there would probably be different things. But I mean, again, let's say that it's multi-dimensional, right? And it is a sense of, okay, it's just us. One thing's changed. What if they're like that? And that's a crazy.
Are you saying the one thing is slavery never ended?
Oh no!
I mean, like,
no, but I mean that could be it. That could be it. Or the one thing changed is that the second president never became the second president, and so
there's one guy the entire time.
I don't know, but maybe it's a different second. Maybe it's a different second president. But I'm just saying, like, what if it's one thing changed that creates a whole nother thing, or maybe it's one thing that's different. Corvettes never came out, or maybe Lamborghinis never came out. Maybe there's no such thing as airplanes in that world. Like,
we are landlocked.
Like,
God.
Like, I'm just saying, like, what if it's a thing of like, not necessarily it's crazy. It's just there's a kink. It's like there's something that's different.
But that's the thing. I believe that when the kink happens is significant.
It's significant.
It's significant.
Yeah.
Because a kink that happens in 1776, like, we lose the war. Mm-hmm. Radical. Mm-hmm. You know, like the kink that Columbus drowned at sea on his first voyage. Radical. You know, the meteor.
I just realized what you said.
The meteor missed Earth. radical. Because, you know, I sort of believe in dinosaurs.
You sort of?
Sort of.
You gotta let go of your conspiracy.
I wish dragons were real.
I believe dragons were real. I just believe we haven't found the fossil fuels for that. I mean, how do you prove that one of those dinosaurs did not breathe fire? You can't. It's just bones.
It'd be crazy to see that flying in the sky, though.
Just fire.
Bro, I'd never get on a plane. I'd never get on a plane.
Okay,
we're cruising at 30,000 feet. What's
that? I have a crazy question. That makes me think of The Boys. That one episode you showed me. Like, was it the first episode?
When they went to rescue people? No, wait.
No, when Highlander.
We haven't gotten that far yet. Crazy. Yeah, they flew up next to Congress with the beam was playing.
He's like, Dad, it's Highlander.
Homelander, is he your friend?
Homelander, I thought it was Highlander.
Like,
but anyway, so, crazy thought.
All of them.
What? Yes. But what if the idea of doppelgangers is not necessarily like, oh, it's just somebody you live in, but what if they're like aliens? Like I said, what if it's a different world than us and just there's something that's changed? That's why doppelgangers, you can always tell there's a difference, but there's a huge and that's why they tell you. I don't know. Or maybe they came here to kind of just go away from it. But that's why they tell you never meet up with your doppelganger, because maybe it's something crazy. Like your dimension kind of starts fusing together.
Start trying to kill
so then you start having that what? No. You
never meet them.
You have that
line.
They're gonna
kill you.
You have that line. I mean, no. There's some people that believe that your doppelganger will kill you and try to take your life, but
sorry, dude.
But like, what if there's a line, right? There's a line between worlds.
I'm your doppelganger because I'll try to kill him. He probably made it.
Oh
my god!
I hate you so much. Let me get what I was trying to say.
You still remember what you're trying to say?
Yes. Okay. What if there was a line, right? And there's lines of like different timelines and stuff. Your doppelganger's on this one. You're on this one. If you meet, your lines start to fuse.
Are we showing this? Who knows?
Your line. So it's two different lines, right? It's two different lines. Your doppelganger. You're this. When you start to see each other, your lines start to fuse to the point where maybe they even overlap or intertwine. And that's why they say things go wrong when you meet your doppelganger, because your timelines cannot fuse because you're on the same timeline, just a different like dimension, if that makes sense. Like, there was this one girl on TikTok speaking about how she had a doppelganger and people would like get her confused all the time, and she's trying everything to meet her, but things just kept going wrong and there was no way for her to meet. And people are in the comments and they're like, girl, leave it alone, don't go try to meet her. But what if it is a thing of like, they have different timelines. They're on the same timeline, clearly, because they're both on Earth, but it's different types of timelines or different types of dimensions.
Something
and then when you mix, you start to fuse, and it goes wonky, willy wonky. You don't know what it is.
Willy wonky. I don't know. I don't know
either.
You know, I have a cousin that looks exactly like me when we were young, like identical. You know, I'm like, dang. You mentioned doppelgangers. I'm like, what if he's my doppelganger, but then that would make my doppelganger older than me?
Wait, you know, does he look like you now?
I don't know what he looks like. He grew dreads, and I decided to never grow dreads, to never find out. So
were made.
You know, it's. We would like to meet aliens. We would like to see, are they 10 feet tall? Are they, like, what's the size difference? How many tentacles do you have? You know, like we would not dissect you. No. We would just like to see our differences and our similarities.
And we would like to just communicate.
We would love to communicate, like, find a way that we both understand each other and really dive deep into our world.
But I think it would kind of be scary. Like, being honest, I
Terrifying.
don't think our first initial and I think it's just a human reaction.
Hopefully they can shapeshift.
Right.
I'll talk to a puppy all day. A giant wolf.
Human interaction. Like, I'm not human interaction. Human
nature.
Emotion, human nature. That's the word. Golly, thank you for hitting me there.
Sandwich.
But just based off of it's scary. If let's say we're talking right now, right? An alien just comes knock on our door and is like, "Hey, I'm not gonna open the door." I would scream, and it would be a good minute. Like, even like angels, right? How we've depicted angels to be these floating humans in white dresses with wings on their back and blonde hair, super cute.
Hopefully they have feet.
They're not going to look like that.
Hopefully they have
They're not
feet.
even going to have feet. It's just a whole bunch of wings with a whole bunch of eyes. You would be terrified.
Do not be afraid. I'm like, please.
So it's like, if aliens really did come try to talk to us, and let's say they try to, I mean, if they came in there like in us, in our bodysuit, and like they knock and they're like, I mean,
the meat suit.
Maybe they're really like us. Maybe it's not just a suit. Maybe they're really like us. They come and they're like, "Hey, we're the aliens that you were thinking, and we've come to communicate. No, we're not trying to probe your booty. We literally just want to talk." I would let you in, because I'd be like, clearly you know something we don't. So let's go.
Them in?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd be like, "You're the government. You're not coming inside." But they could break the door down.
I know,
you know, that little plasma cutter team. This is gone. I'm like,
I'm like, you know what? I'd rather let
welcome.
you in. I'd rather let you in than you.
You have to come in.
Yeah. So I let you in. But if you look like a blue blob of squab and stuff like
and
that,
you have to do this to get in.
I'm gonna be like, is there a way you can shapeshift? Is there a way?
Not into a small child, because those are terrifying.
I'm actually gonna close my eyes because you're so terrifying, but I really don't want to disrespect you. So, is there? And your voice is very intimidating and very scary. So, is there a way you can also change your voice?
Aliens, if you can shapeshift, we pick a 28-year-old male with a slightly higher pitched voice.
Male. I don't like men.
You think you'd let a girl approaching the door in?
I would much rather let a girl approaching the door in than a man.
Most of the scary stories are women, at night.
Yes, they usually have men behind them.
No, but not like that.
Oh, like
the ghosts and things.
Okay, fine. But you think I'm gonna let a man in? No.
But I wouldn't let kids
all the
in.
No.
Kids are scary. Kids at night.
Don't come at nighttime. Don't come at nighttime.
Broad daylight.
Come broad daylight.
Broad daylight in a Walmart.
and knock on our door with some food and be like, "I brought some pizza. I am an alien. I just want to let you guys know."
And bring some kind of proof.
Say. So when you knock and we go, "Who is it?" You gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a little generic.
Oh, but we'll know. But we'll know.
See,
people are just gonna come knock on our door. Just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Roast us. Be like, the gap between your teeth is a light year. I'd be like,
damn.
He gets it. Let him in. Let her in. Let it.
Me.
They.
Be.
Glob. What do you identify as?
What do you? Is there a problem?
Glob on my shoe. I'm kidding.
Alien.
But we welcome
life
you.
form.
And it'd be exciting to see them.
Yeah.
It'd be exciting.
And if you are here, you don't have to come talk to us. We owe you nothing.
Exactly.
You do what you need to do. But if you are here for exploration, I apologize that this is what you came for. We are not
There's a lot of things on fire.
We're not a clean museum. We're the ones that are understaffed and underpaid. So sorry again for what you came for, but before the government catches you, you should probably leave. Love you. Hope to see you again soon. It looks like a circle. But yeah. What the? A little party hat. This is just a party hat.
Okay. This has gone on for long enough. Let us know. Any closing thoughts? That was mine. Come visit us. That was mine.
Please,
and yours
please
don't
stop inviting aliens to our place.
Sorry, aliens.
Like, you would not, you would not be okay with any of it, Mister. Anyways, what are your thoughts on aliens?
I might go on this shit.
I just.
Let us know. Continue the discussion. Let us know what you think they look like. Let us know what they're here for.
What do you think they're here for?
Exactly. Do you think the government is making it all up and we are the only planet in the entire universe with life on it? Mm-hmm. Which is like okay, but also kind of lame.
I know if you think about it. Like, do you want to think like that? Is that kind of boring to think about that we're the only ones?
And when we consider aliens, I hate to say this, but are they intelligent? Like, what if it's just a planet full of, I guess, animals?
I mean, that's true. But they have to be intelligent enough to drive a spaceship or a rocket ship or some shuttle to come here. You gotta be intelligent enough. You know what?
We believed in you and you made it. So thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us today. I love this episode of randomness.
It was.
We talked about technology, dinosaurs, dragons, aliens, and the likes. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know how we can stay on topic.
Yeah. Should we go see a therapist?
Everybody should see a therapist, honestly.
Everyone should.
We're therapy advocates here.
Yeah. Pro therapy.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining me on this
so
journey through space. Is every sun a star or is every star a sun?
E.T. phone home.
If your finger lit up right now, I'm gonna put a light bulb right. All right, thank you, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. This is Star Trek, by the way.
I know.